Alliance Creative Network, where we educate our viewers on global issues such as security, health, and humanitarian challenges affecting the entire world. Together, we build a better life and peaceful environment for mankind. Join us to discuss global issues.
And peaceful environment for mankind.
Hello viewers, you're welcome once again to Alliance Creative Network on global issues. Today we are yet to discuss on reducing how we could help to reduce child labor in the world. I am your host, His Excellency John Nanaya Ochri, President of Alliance Creative Community Project. It's a United Nations Economic and Social Council ECOSOC member organization worldwide. Remember, together we build a peaceful future together. Together we build, together we succeed. And also remember to smile for peace. Please stay tuned. We are going for a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll discuss how we could all team up to reduce child labor in the world.
UN ECOSOC Organization, ACCP. Together we build a better life and peaceful environment for mankind. Show me the scars in your heart and I'll be the stars in the skies. See the tears in my eyes and be the rain to wash it away. And if web can turn to a butterfly, then love can change the world. If we embrace ourselves when we cry, then we can stand for this one word. Smile for peace, smile, and save this world. Make this world a better place. Smile for peace, smile for peace. Save this world, save this world. Let us save this world, yes.
Beneath the surface of states and nations, ideas and language, lies the fate of individual human beings in need. Answering their needs will be the mission of the United Nations in the century to come.
Words means nothing without actions. We can't watch as the world goes down. We can move mountains and be heroes and not the clowns. Cause together we are strong, divided we will fall. Let us save this world. Together we are strong, divided we will fall. Let us make this world a better place. Do you believe in the rainbow signs? When you see it in the skies, we can fly above the sun, yes. Only if we believe in ourselves. So whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you're Indian, whether you're Asian, everyone should come along. Whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you're Indian, whether you're Asian, everyone should come along. We can heal this world, yeah. We can make it a better place. We can fly above the sky, yes, and catch that glimpse together. So be my friend, be my strength. Let's heal this world. Hey, hold my hands, stand by me. Let's make it a better place. Yes, we can. Smile, smile for peace. Let's save this world. Save the world. Save this world a better place. Smile for peace. Smile for peace. Save this world. Make this world a better place. save this world. Yes, the world is wailing, and the world is waiting. What are we doing? As Albert Camus said, peace is the only battle worth waging. And the more we sweat in peace, the less we bleed in war. Peace is always beautiful. What Whiteman said. Let's make this world a better place for ourselves and the next generations. And there are heroes we can't forget. Nelson Mandela, Kofi Annan, UN Peacekeeping Team, World Peace Council, and everyone contributing to peace in this world. Let's make here a better place. My name's Sam Black.
Hello, you're welcome once again. My name is His Excellency John Anaya Ochori. I am your host for tonight's show or tonight's program on global issues on Alliance Creative Network. We are discussing about reducing child labor in the world. How can we all team up to reduce child labor? How can we come up with a resolution? How can we come up with a solution or an activities program that can really reduce child labor? Do you want to help? Do you want to assist? Today will tell whether you assist or not. And I believe that those of you watching me from afar, you could also join a chatting group. You could leave your comments. You could leave your comments on Facebook, YouTube Live, and Facebook Live, because the program is on live television or live network. So please join me and let's discuss about global issues on how to reduce child labor in the world. Do you want your child? Do you want to see your child being in labor, like let's say working for what is not supposed to do? Do you want your child to work as an infant? Do you want your child to work as a child? Do you want the person to work as an adult? Can you do that? Can you sit for your child to work whilst you exist or you live a life? No. If you can do that, then don't look at somebody's child. Don't let somebody's child work as well. So this is to those who are engaging programs. This is to those who are engaging activities. This is to those who are activating activities that is engaging children to use children as laborers, to use children to work for them, for their own selfish interests. This is to those people. And I'm going to read a criminal code, and then the United Nations charter and all those things that governing says the child abuse and child labor. So if you are not aware of it, you must be very careful, because those that are doing that, every day you could do it, but one day will be bad for you. And I'm also telling the parent, I'm also urging the parents to also sit up and then know how to deal with the children. Okay, also we're going to talk about that, how we could really train our children and put our children on programs that could also help the children to obtain knowledge or to be in a system or to become a good leader in the world. So therefore, let us sit back and watch the program. This is where we discuss global issues such as security, health, and humanitarian challenges that are affecting the entire world. We want the world to be at peace. We want the world to be clean as water. We want the world to be beautiful. We want the world to be at peace, peaceful, free. That is what we're looking for the world to be. So if you are watching me, my name is His Excellency John Nanaya Ochre. I am your host for tonight's show, Global Issues on Alliance Creative Network, and we are here to discuss about reducing child labor in the world, and also we touch base other issues to discuss as well. So here we go. It's a reducing child labor in the world. Okay, future leaders. Who are these future leaders? It can be adult, it can be a child, it can be a youthful age, because future leaders can be children. Future leaders can also be a youth. Future leaders can be an adult as well. So let's read this and understand. As parents, it is our responsibility to ensure that our children emerge as future leaders. It is you and I responsibility to make sure that our children emerge as future leaders. This is what we are supposed to do. Me and you and I supposed to do. Understand? So for that, as matter of that, or for that, we have to start today, not tomorrow. We have to start now, not tomorrow. We have to start now, or not the next minute. We have to start right now by teaching our children the right value and skills. We can help them make a positive impact on the world when they grow up. Understand? So when they grow up, remember that leadership is not only for adults. The leadership that we claim we're living now is not only for the adults, because remember, if we don't train the young generation, we don't train the children that are coming, you that I'm talking to, or you that we are discussing today, anybody listening to me, you that listening to me, and I that I'm speaking, we were children, we were young some couple of years ago, and today we are leaders. Remember, we were young some couple of years ago, and today we are leaders. So what, and if we didn't get enough training, if the people ahead of us didn't give us enough training, or our parents didn't really give us enough training, how can you be a leader? How can you be a leader? Ask yourself. I'm going to show you some videos. I'm going to show you a couple of things that will make you understand that really you need to sit up, right? And I am beating this part again. Please, not only your child. It is not only your child that you can make his or her future beautiful or bright. There are a lot of children out there. I am not saying, or we're not saying go and adopt the children, but make sure you create a platform that children can also enroll to become good in the future. Remember, if you teach people, if you train only your child, and your child don't have people to work together with, let's say your child become a president or head of state, and all his cabinet ministers don't have good training, what do you think will happen? Your child will suffer in ruling, because those people will bring your child down. Those people will bring him down. That is why we find so many loopholes in our leadership, so many loopholes in government, so many loopholes in institutions, so many loopholes in companies, and all sort of things that the world is facing now. Let us smile for peace, and let us make a better place for all of us, for you and I. Let us smile for peace, because the world needs peace. What the world needs now is peace, if I may tell you. Let's work together. Let us fight and work together. Let us fight for peace. Let us campaign for peace. That is what the world needs. So why are we not doing that? Look at some children. Look at some children. You will see some children. You go to some countries, the educational level is high, and then some part, you go to some part, you see the educational people are scholars and they are going to university. But when you go to villages, you go to town, you go to countryside, you go to so many places, the children don't have good education. The children don't really have good education, and then you see them suffering. You understand? The classroom alone cannot even give them the appetite to learn. Okay, because they don't even have a building to go and study. They don't have a building to go and study. So let me show you this video, and those of you that are going to watch this might be a little bit disturbance, but forgive me. I saw it on social media, which I believe I want to share with you, because the person who posted it said share and let everybody see. So I'm going to share it, and you could see two children fighting. And I believe I didn't count, but if I may count, about 40 or 50 children, or let's say 40 or 50 or 60 children around these children, and they are fighting, and their fathers, their parents are sitting down and being commentators or coaches. So what future are we living for these children? And it's not only that side, because it might be everywhere, so many places. So I'm speaking, and I believe after I finish, I'll talk to let's say diasporas. Any diaspora should try their possible best to go back to their root and help the generation. If you get the opportunity to travel, to Canada, Europe, America, anywhere, and if you're a Canadian, to help people that are at the countryside, help them. If you're coming from Europe, go back there. You will definitely find people who are homeless. Help them. Okay, let's make peace in the world. So watch this video, and I believe you will understand what I am talking about. After watching the video, I'll play it slowly and discuss with you. Watch it.
Yeshia to na chema ga boss ese nyo na meji wan geche no be sani mene amenu ni cheme muguwe papa atashi muguwe le papa ne ni abare na kokwe me ni bu ahye saso me so ne bare na ni mene papa je wan mene papa le we je wan gan bi aso e ke cheme je wan no kan shi na ga no won ye gan na chemi ga je gan ga umba choko shi papa go je wan mene papa je wan mene papa je wan no sananya wa me bi no I got men down. Left free, I no down. Obi ana manya meno. Boss mo amenu why agbene. Why aji wani. Mo go papa tashi. Je show mo. Dey no chogo to chogo. Kumo chogo to chogo. Abare na rough. Kumo. Abare na rough. Boy. Me no fe ni na ame apata sha me nko ame. Aji wani geche. Aji wani. Any get bolu on it. Got on a chemi here. A barrier off.
You watch it. Did you like the act? Some might see it to be an entertaining. Some of you might see it to be an entertaining, but me personally, I see this as an abuse. I see this as an abuse. This is an abuse. Because the child, you could see that both child, they're not interested in doing that, but they were forced to do it. They were forced to do it, whether they bet on the children or whatever that they did, but they were forced to do what they did. And this video is coming from Africa. That doesn't mean that only Africa that this video, this type of incidents happen. It might happen in Canada, happen in America, everywhere. But it might happen at the countryside, because civilization of today, you won't find children coming together and their parents, or let's say the other children having time, because everybody is in a school. Everybody is at school. Nobody have time to to follow this kind of things. Understand? So let us still work together as one. So let me jump to the video, the main video, and then you will see what exactly that's happening. I'll explain to you. Okay, the question is, they ask these children, they were asking the children that, can you fight? Can you fight him? They ask the other children, can you fight him? They say yes. And they ask the other children, the other child too, that, can you fight? He say yes. Okay, then they continue. So listen. Have you fought with each other before? Ask, he says, the gentleman standing there is also a child, is also a boy. They are all children, and you could see the father, one of the fathers sitting at the back there, being so happy and enjoying the fight that his child is fighting. So what kind of future are we creating for this generation? What kind of future are we creating for this generation? What went wrong? What went wrong? So please, let us work together as one. Whoever that need help, if you have the help, please help them. If you have the help, please help them. Don't only look at your child, because the world does not contain only your child. It contains everybody's child. And if you train your child well, the person that couldn't train his or her child well will come and affect your child with whatever that they have. So please, let us work together as one. Let me continue. The commentator, or the person speaking, was saying that the person interviewing them was saying that he was home when he was called, that there are two boxes. He didn't even introduce these children as children, but he said two boxes has met, that they are challenging each other, that they want to fight. So therefore, they want them to fight together. So listen to what is happening. Listen. They've been challenging themselves for long. So today they have to fight. This is one of their father. All these children came to the father
Mene papa je one, mene papa je one. Wesa na ya wa bi. Aga me no do. Left, I me no do. Obi ana ma ya me. Boss man me wa ya.
So then let them fight. Let's see.
Aje one, obi papa ta shi. Ye show mo. Dey no chogo to chogo. Mo chogo to chogo. Abare na ro.
So look at this.
Abare na ro.
Look at this. Just look at this.
Me no feel ni na, me papa sha me kwa me. Aje one get it.
Just look at it.
Aje one
Just look at it.
Any go you on it. Ga to na che mi.
Child abuse.
Abare na ro.
This is child abuse. And if they are betting on these children, believe me, this is child labor as well. Because probably maybe they might put some money on top of the children who wins, the father takes it. This is child labor as well. You see, these children don't really deserve this. But look at what they are doing.
Okay, fine.
You see? They are trying to say that this is round one. They are trying to say that this is the round one of the fight, that the children are going back to fight again. And look at the way the child is looking through the camera. Look at the way the child is looking through the camera. You could see that the child is not even interested in what he's doing. Look at the way the child is breathing. Look at the way the other child is also breathing. Understand? Let's stop this. This is not good. Let us stop this and let us create a better future and a better generation for the entire world, because the world will not be at peace when we are destroying the future generation, the future leaders. When we're destroying children, we're training children on this basis. We're training children to fight each other. You can't do that. Watch till the end and you will. How many rounds are they going to say? 3 rounds.
Boss, more than 2 anymore.
So let the round 2 begin.
I take a Ziggy, you know. I take my
one
I
is
take
called Ziggy and the one is called
I did it.
This is the right one. It's called
Ziggy. I'm a papa man, who touch our father.
This is their father.
Muguelo Apane.
The other
I
one
met you one other shit. Sana be left you. I know boss go to one. I take a Ziggy. You show me a Jigarov. Where?
No.
Share my video. Mama don't share me one.
You can hear the gentleman saying
I'm a arena. Saturday, so you are arena. I'm a arena. I take British school. Why?
Can't do this. So this tells you how child labor and then child abuse is going on in this world. So let us really work together and make a better future and make a better place, like a better world, that everybody must really know what he or she is supposed to do. Please let's go for a commercial break, and when we come back, we continue the discussion.
To Alliance Creative Network, where we educate our viewers on global issues such as security, health, and humanitarian challenges affecting the entire world. Together, we build a better life and peaceful environment for mankind. Join us to discuss global issues.
Hello viewers, you're welcome to Global Issues on Alliance Creative Network. The discussion of today is on reducing child labor in the world, and as well as child abuse. So join me. Let's discuss how to reduce child labor and then child abuse in the world. Let us discuss this, because this is really getting out of hand. You might sit down in your tight corner, or your nice corner, or your nice couch. You might sit up in your office, or maybe your residential abode and something, and think that everything is okay. But remember, together we build, together we succeed. Together we build a better future. So if you don't come out to create a platform that will help others to also become like you, if the world is getting to an end, there will be a huge balance. There shouldn't be a huge balance that you can't even get people to help you intellectually knowledgeable. Okay, so please let us do our possible best in helping other people as well. So let's see, I have a couple of videos that I would love to play with you. I would love to show you while the video is going on. You know, I don't think you want to see this. Look at this. It says stop child labor. You see how the child is carrying the cocoa, meaning they are using these children to pick up all the cocoa processing. When the raw cocoa, they pick them up and they pay them. So if you use your child in this labor, if you use your child to do this, if you use your child to do this, what do you think you're doing? From the beginning, the child already had money or know what money means. The child knows what money means. So, when you send your child to go to school, and the child also goes into an environment like this, the child knows that this is the classroom that they have in their vicinity, in their township, in the village, at the village, or wherever that is supposed to be. If the child doing this, and therefore you tell the child to go and sit, the child is doing all this thing, picking up this garbage as plastic to go and sell it to make ends meet, to help the family. Oh, look at the labor. Look at how they are using the children. And you tell the child to go and squat like this in a classroom. You tell the child to go and squat like this in a classroom. What do you think you're doing? This can happen. Squat like this in a classroom. Okay? If you're using the child that is stone quarry, things that machines are supposed to do, you're using the children to do it without going to school. Look at the daylight. This time, these children are supposed to be in classrooms learning how to become future leaders. These children are supposed to be in classroom learning how to become future leaders. But therefore, look, they are learning how to become future failures. Yes, some people will say children will pass through hardship, and believe you me, it's a couple of people that at the end of the day they find grace, or they find assistance or help, that they come out of the poverty. Because if a child starts like this, you know where it's going. And look at somebody too. They're using this child to process a cocoa. They're using the child to process a cocoa. Look at it. They're using the child for labor, which this is unacceptable. So look at a classroom for some of the villages. Look at the classroom for some of the villages in Africa that we are talking about. So again, I am talking about diasporals, talking about African diasporals, that they travel and some of them gain nationality. Some of them are citizens in the various countries that they travel to, such as Canada, United States, Europe, Germany, Australia, China. Just name wherever that you find yourself to reside there and gain citizenship. I am asking you, please, don't you know that you were coming from somewhere, or in your village, or in your countryside, or where you come from? There are people like this. There are educational institutions, buildings like this, that you might know you shouldn't only leave it for the government to deal with. At least you could go back there. If you have a couple of dollars or pounds, sterling or euro, you could at least assist them to put up a wooden structure. If you can afford a concrete wooden structure to cover the place, because when you are learning and people are passing, things like this, you're learning and people are passing, what do you think will happen? You know, it's a destruction to the educational system over there. So these children will not even have the opportunity to go there to learn. They can't even enter into these classrooms to learn. They can't do that. They can't go into the classrooms to learn because the classroom is opened. Look at the way the classroom is. This is this mud house. This is the mud house, and it's almost cracked and yet to break down. So they are even fear that this building can even collapse one day and kill these children. Please, diasporals, if you're a Jamaican, you're coming from Caribbean, you're coming from Africa, I don't care, United States, wherever you're coming from, please go back to your roots. Or if you can't go back to your roots, send a delegation, look for people over there and find somebody who is in need to help. Help we're not only talking about helping people. Do you want your children to live like this? Do you want your children to live like this? Do you want your children to sit under a tree to learn like this? Do you want your children to processing cocoa like this? Do you know what people are going through? They are holding their slate. This is a slate that they used to learn, and they are about to learn. Look at them. All these children are being used for child labor. And you can see that these children are willing to learn. They are willing to learn, but they don't have the help. Find organizations, find non-profit organizations in the country. There are quack ones, there are bad organizations. Yes, you send money to some organizations, they never do the work. Yes, I know that. But all I'm saying is pass through the government. Look, link it to someone you know, whoever that you think could do the work. Please reach these people. Let them also feel the sense of humor. Let them also feel the goodness of wealth. Let them also feel that there is something that is happening in this world that is good. Please let us help these children, because people are angry. People are suffering. Look at this. Even these people are a little bit cleaner. Okay, but look at the classroom. It's also exposed. It's open. If people are passing, it will distract attention of learning. I understand. Yes, they even got this classroom, but they are happy and they are smiling. Yes, of course. But what about these ones that can't even have the classroom? So that means there are yet for you and I to do. There are more that we need to do. There are more for me and you to do. Children are crying. Imagine yourself being in this situation. What would you do? You would definitely cry. You will cry for help. You will cry for help. That is it. And I'm not saying that Africa is poverty or something, but you know, in every country, there is a place called countryside. That is what Africa also have, villages. And you know, the government cannot do anything. The government cannot do everything in this world. Not even Canadian government or United States government can solve everybody's problem in United States or Canada or Europe. That is why sometimes they have grassroots personnel. So non-profit organizations, let's say individual non-profit organizations and other non-profit organizations that are being established, the work of you is to assist the government to go to the grassroots and find out what might be needed to be done and bring it to the attention of the government, so the government will support it. That's why the government have multiple funding to support those projects. But because the original organizations or the good organizations are not going forward to go for that grants and loans, you know, the people are forming organizations to go for the loan whereby they can't even do the work. The project, they don't even have project, but they submit proposals and get the money into their pockets. Understand? Because if the work is not being done, that means somebody is elsewhere taking the money into their pocket. I'm not saying I've seen anybody doing it, but I'm just saying that maybe that's what is happening because the work is not being done. Look at the way the child is crying. Another child is also crying. You understand? Out of child labor. Please, let us do our due diligent work. Let us make our research and help other people survive. Let us go for a commercial break. And when we come back, we discuss global issues.
Welcome to Alliance Creative Network, where we educate our viewers on global issues such as security, health, and humanitarian challenges affecting the entire world. Together, we build a better life and peaceful environment for mankind. Join us to discuss global issues.
UN ECOSOC Organization, ACCP. Together we build a better life and peaceful environment for mankind. Show me the scars in your heart and I'll be the stars in the skies. See the tears in my eyes and be the rain to our it away. And if web can turn to a butterfly, then love can change the world. If we embrace ourselves when we cry, then we can stand for this one word. Smile for peace, smile, and save this world. Make this world a better place. Smile for peace, smile for peace. Save this world. Save this world. Let us save this world. Yes.
Beneath the surface of states and nations, ideas and language, lies the fate of individual human beings in need. Answering their needs will be the mission of the United Nations in the century to come.
Words means nothing without actions. We can't watch as the world goes down. We can move mountains and be heroes and all the clowns. Cause together we are strong, divided we will fall. Let us save this world. Together we are strong, divided we will fall. Let us make this world a better place. Do you believe in the rainbow signs? When you see it in the sky, yes. We can fly above the sun, yes. Only if we believe in ourselves. So whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you are Indian, whether you are Asian, everyone should come along. Whether you're white, whether you're black, whether you are Indian, whether you are Asian, everyone should come along. We can heal this world, yeah. We can make it a better place. We can fly above the sky, yes, and catch the glimpse together. So be my friend, be my strength. Let's heal this world. Hey, hold my hands, stand by me. Let's make it a better place. Yes, we can. Smile. Let's save this world. Save this world. Smile for peace. Smile. Save this world. Let us save this world. Yes. The world is wailing, and the world is waiting. What are we doing? As Albert Camus said, peace is the only battle worth waging. And the more we sweat in peace, the less we bleed in war. Peace is always beautiful. What Whiteman said. Let's make this world a better place for ourselves and the next generations. And there are heroes we can't forget. Nelson Mandela, Kofi Annan, UN Peacekeeping Team, World Peace Council, and everyone contributing to peace in this world. Let's make here a better place. My name's Sam Black.
Viewers, you are welcome back once again to Global Issues on Alliance Creative Network. We're discussing on reducing child labor in the world. I am your host, His Excellency John Nanaya Ochery. If you just join us, we're talking about how we can all come together to reduce child labor in the world. So if you're watching, please join us. Let us all discuss about this, because this is what is killing. This is part of what is killing the world. This is what is part of what is disturbing the world, though. It's a destruction to some of us in the world because things are not happening. Understanding of some countries, understanding of some people within a country that really triggered. You understand? Because if some people are educated, some people are not educated, sometimes level of understanding is balanced. And if you don't take care, those that didn't go to school will be a lot, and those people who went to school are few. So what do you think happens? They will overthrow, and then the world will be at chaos. So please, let's try and help each other. Okay, so let me just jump quickly to what I was saying, what I was reading about the before. What I was reading before uh, that I stopped to play the video. So I am saying that the leaders of tomorrow are in school or in educational programs right now as we speak. Most of them might be in school or an educational programs that have been set up right now as we all speak. Imagine the possibilities that could exist if they were provided with a foundation of skills that would not only serve them well in their studies, but also stick with them as they enter in workforce. Just imagine if they were given a good tool, they were raised well, they were told good things, they were teach well, they were trained well. Imagine what will happen. Okay, these foundation of skills can be developed via after school education programs. So we must come up with programs that is not about paying tuition fees alone that you could learn. Government must come up with programs that people that are even outside, that they don't even have access to educational system, can even attempt to educate themselves one way or the other. I know some of them have training programs, workshop programs, and hardware and all those things to train them. But is it up to standard to recruit people who can't even read? That is the point we must ask ourselves. Okay, so this is it, via school educational programs. While these programs are often tied to one skill such as math or writing, in reality, kids are learning more than just algebra or grammar. In reality, kids are learning more than just algebra or grammar. They are learning problem solving and critical reasoning, critical reasoning skills. And if it's a group program, collaboration skills too. You understand? You have to come up with programs that will help the children, young generations, to know how to resolve issues, to resolve problems. Not only to learn algebra and then English grammar and all those things. Yes, they are basics, but you have to come up with programs outside. That is what we're saying. Most of the countries are doing it. Yes, bravo, thank you for doing it, but we must do well. We must do more. So let me give you 5 ways that we can help our children develop a healthy identity, avoid following crowd, and become a real leader. Let me give you the 5 ways. Let me give you 5 ways that our children can really develop a healthy identity. They will have a good identity and avoid following the crowd and become a real leader. 1, discuss and exploit values at home. If you are in your house, everything you should discuss you should exploit values at home. In your house, you should discuss valuable things that can improve the life of the child. 2, Encourage role playing. Encourage your child to always play in a role. Encourage your child to be in a leadership roles when it comes to classroom issues, the things that are happening in their surrounding. Whatever they do, they must be in a role of leadership, but not finding themselves in a gang that they are playing robbery and whatever. I said, I'm the robbery leader. No, please, I'm not talking about that. Sorry, I just brought this in, right? But what I'm saying is, you must be encouraged role playing to your kids or your family. 3, don't push them beyond their comfort zone. Do not push your child. Do not push the child beyond his or her comfort zones. 4, model what it looks like to lead. Model. Be a model to the child. Be a role model to your child. Show the child what it takes to lead, what it shows to lead, how it shows to lead. Let a child know that, look, my mom or my dad is a leader. Look at how they are leading. Look at what they do. Let portray a leadership role in your house. Model it. Let them know. Let them take you as a role model. 6, entertain their crazy ideas. Any idea that a child will come up with, any idea that they will come up with, entertain it. If you can, develop it and sell it back to them. Help them to develop their ideas, but don't ignore them. Don't say you're stupid, you're this, you're that, you can't do it, just throw it away. No, you don't do that. And do these 6 things and see how or what your child becomes in a society. Do this and see what your child will become in a society. Do this and see what your child will become in a society. So let's quickly jump on a research I did on US. Let's say, let me use Canada first. A research I did about, let's say, UN. Okay, let me talk about the UN first. Says by UN, almost 1 in 10 of all children worldwide are in child labor. Almost 1 in 10 of all children worldwide are in child labor, while the number of children in child labor has declined by 94 million since 2000. The year 2000. The rate of reduction slowly by 2/3 in recent years. Target 8.7 of the UN Sustainable Development Goal calls for an end. UN Development Goal, Sustainable Development Goal. The target of 8.7 of the UN, 8.7 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Agenda, or the goal, calls for an end to child labor in all its forms by 2025. So by the year 2025, United Nations is fighting to combat or to stop child labor, or bring down, reduce it to 0 or maybe 1 in 2025. And I want all of us must also hold it. As UN is doing their part, grassroots organizations, we're doing our part, or partners or anybody who is affiliated to United Nations, we're doing our part. What are you doing? What are you doing to help? As an individual, what are you doing to help? Are you also helping? And how can you help? You see the video that I played to you, the video that I play whilst the children are fighting, the video that I play that the children are fighting. Okay, things like this. If you are in a vicinity and you find out that there are children like this in a vicinity, please help them. come up, develop a program and put the children on it so that all these things will stopped. So, you know, instead of you and wasting their time to come to that grassroots to come and resolve the problem, an individual person or organization has already resolved it. You understand? So they have time to go and stop Ukraine war or to go and talk about Ukraine, and not having time to come and discuss about this these little things. That's why we have grassroots organizations. Okay, so here by 2025, you see, and then listen to this carefully. Declaration of the right of the child. Declaration of the right of the child, just as the child fighting. Okay, let me show you this. You see this? If you just
Wanyele, Bo Wanyele, Niganyere no da, Left Yamagame no da, Namagame no. Tribula, Nagabana, Yashiatona, Chemaga bosses, you know, I met you want to get it. No, there's any many ameno, Ni Cheme, Muguela Patashi, Muguelo Mapane, Ni Abarina, Cockwomen in Boashi, Sasume Sony Barina, Ni Menepa Jiwani, Menepala Jiwani. Gonna be a show, catch a major one in no can't no. When you're gonna chemical, you're gonna get Umba Choco. She Papa go Giovanni. Many Papa Giovanni, many Papa Giovanni, was an annual one, maybe no. I got men no down. Lefty, I men no down. Obiana Mania Meno, boss woman, where I went. Where I Giovanni, Mugu Papa Tashi, you show me. Then a choco to choco, come on, choco to choco, a barrena rough. Come on, a barrena rough.
Okay, I'm not going to go further. Understand you? You understand what I'm trying to say. So listen to this. Is this the right of the child? Let's ask ourselves this question. Do you think that it was the right of the child, that the child willingly wanted to fight or do that? You could see that the children were pushed to fight, because even when they are fighting, we're looking through the camera. That means they don't like it. But you know what? If you don't do it, your father will beat you. If you don't do it, your parent will beat you. That is what it pushed the children to do. So listen to this. Declaration of the right of the child. Okay, of the child. Every child have right in this world. You see, in 1959, in 1959, which I believe that is after the Second World War, 1959, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a declaration of a right, of the right of a child, which defines children's right to protection, education, healthcare, shelter, and good nutrition. So go online, and what I'm talking about, if you go there, read it yourself there. Let us not be ignorant of the book, right? Let's always do a research and find out what is happening. I'm going to talk about the research aspect too. You understand? A declaration was made on the right of the child in 1957. In 1959, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a declaration on the right of a child. So, I have a question. Do you believe that this child fighting, the children beating themselves like this, it is their right? They have the right to stop. They can't stop because, and not only these children, a lot of children in this world, most of the children are also slaves by their parents the same way. If you don't do that, what they ask you to do, you won't eat. That's what is happening. So the children don't have rights. And in 1959, a declaration was made. Okay, let's listen to this. To Convention on the Rights of the Children, which is UNICEF work is guided by the Convention of on the Right of a Child in 1989. The convention is the most rapidly and widely ratified international human rights treaty in history. The convention changed the way children are viewed and treated. The convention changed on the way how children are viewed and treated. Before, in 19, let's say 70s, children were used for so many things, right? But now they said in 1989, it changed. From the way the children, it changed the way children are viewed, how you see children to be an adult, to use them to work in labor, whatever, okay, and treated. How you beat children, you kidnap children, you treat children, you abuse children, all those things change. Example, a human being with a distinct set of rights instinct, instead of as passive objects of care and charity, the unprecedented, listen to this, unprecedented acceptance of the convention clearly shows a wide global commitment to advancing children's rights. This is what United Nations said. And let's move back to what Canada also said on child labor. I went to the Canada site, government site, and I got this. So I'm going to share the page with you. I'm going to share the page with you. And I want you to see. Okay, so here it says, how can we reduce child labor in the world, right? How can we reduce child labor in the world? There are few image more heart-rending, okay, than that of a girl or a boy which is forced to work or is denied the opportunity to go to school. Okay, let me read again. There are few images more heart-rending than that of a girl or a boy who is forced to work or is denied the opportunity to go to school. Despite increasing global recognition of the right of children, there are currently approximately 168 million children between the age of 5 to 17 who are engaged in child labor. Listen. 168 million children. That's what Canada government portal is talking about. Okay, approximately 168 million children between the age of 5 and 17 who are engaged in child labor. This accounts for almost 11% of the child population as a whole. Children in hazardous work make up almost half of all children, 85 million, 55 million boys, and 30 million girls. And this number is used as an estimated of the number of children, the worst form of child labor. Canada's effort to stop child labor exploitation, the promotion and protection of human rights is an integral part of Canadian effort abroad. Under Canadian law, the Official Development Assistance Accountability Act, all Canadian officials developing assistance must be consistent with international standard and human rights. Labor provision of Canada's recent free trade agreement, including a commitment to abolish child labor, Canada has supported UN resolution on right of child, including the urgent needed to protect children from violence in all forms. 2, exploitation and child labor. So, I'm not the one saying this. This is the government side saying this. And this is what Canada government is talking about child labor. Canada is helping. It said, listen, we help draft the International Labor Organizations, which is Convention 182 on the worst form of child, ratified in the 2000. Canada considered the worst form of child labor to be a violation of the Convention of the Rights of the Child, as well as the ILO worst form of child labor convention number 182. And then we have children's right to business principles. The government of Canada welcomed the Canadian release of a children's right and business principles. We also encourage Canada companies to integrate the principles into their business practice as a tool for guiding the action they can take. Respect and support children's rights. Contribute to the elimination of child labor. Hallelujah. This is beautiful. You heard me saying hallelujah, yes, because I'm a pastor. This is nice. I understand Canada is doing its best in supporting child labor and child abuse. Okay, so I also pasted the ad. I pasted the link at the bottom. So if you're watching it, you could really pause it and copy the link and try and copy the link, and then you could also go and search it yourself and read more about it, because there are a lot of things on the internet that now Google or the other social media network are making it relevant to all of us to read. So let's go for a commercial break, and then when we come back, we will be discussing global issues.
To Alliance Creative Network, where we educate our viewers on global issues such as security, health, and humanitarian challenges affecting the entire world. Together, we build a better life and peaceful environment for mankind. Join us to discuss global issues.
Okay, hello viewers, you're welcome once again. You're welcome once again to Global Issues, which is Global Issues on Alliance Creative Network discussion. Today is on reducing child labor in the world and also reducing child abuse. I am your host, His Excellency John Anaya Ochori, and I am here to discuss with you on issues concerning reducing child labor in the world, not only in Canada or Africa or anywhere, but in the entire world. Okay, so this message goes to anybody finding themselves in any country, whether you're in Africa, you're in Jamaica, you're in Caribbean, you're in the United States or what. You know, there is this thing that they say, which I believe is not true, that they said if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. Put it in a book, because the black person, or let's say the person, would not like to read, because people claim that blacks don't really like reading. It is not true. That is never true. The point is, as far as one person, somebody does not like reading, doesn't mean that all blacks don't like reading. Blacks are meant to be scholars, just as the whites are scholars. All of us are one. We are all equal. We know our right. You know your right. So nobody is less. That is what the fact that I'm making here. So because we're building peace, we must make things clear, right? So what I'm trying to say is, if you find yourself, whether black or white, Indian or any race, if you find yourself in any other country, first thing that you must do, even before you travel to the countries, you must go on Google, because Google is in every country now. Go on Google and start searching for the country's rules and regulation. Go through the amendments, go through their constitution, look for their bylaws, their rules and regulations, laws that governing whatever that you're going to do in a country. So when you go there, you wouldn't fall into a victim, because there are people who are like your race. Let me use, if you're an African, you have an African that when you go into the country, because of how speed you are, or how you'll be running, or whatever that you are doing, they will try to scare you with certain things because you are new in the country. But as far as you read and understand the code of ethics in the country, you will fear nothing. You walk freely. You walk freely in the country where you find yourself to live in. Understand? But if you don't understand certain things, you do things that will go contrary according to the law, or you go down, and then the law will get you, and then you will start hiding. That is what is happening. So please, happening to most of the people. And I'm not talking to only black or white, but I'm talking to general people, any immigrant, anybody who is planning to travel to somebody's country. Even if you live in your own country, most of the people living in their own country don't even know rules and regulations and constitutions governing, or laws governing the country itself. You understand? So let's go out there, learn about the laws, and then we know our rights. Let me give you one juice idea. Let me give you just one bullet that you understand that you need to learn. Okay, a lot of people don't understand this, but most of the people that travel into different countries, you go there, sometimes you are making call on phone, or you're calling your family back home, you're calling anybody in Caribbean, you're calling somewhere Africa, you're calling in United States, anywhere, and then maybe you have a transaction, you're doing something with a person, and you fear that somebody's recording you. Somebody is just tapping you. Yes. If you have committed a crime, if you have done something that you know that what you did is undoable, you shouldn't do that, or you understand, you go against the law of the country, definitely the country can really get something against you. The country can tap your calls. The country have every right to go to the court to get all those sanctions, get so many things to follow you. That is fine, you understand? But if you know that you did nothing to someone, then you should walk freely. Because if you are in Canada, listen to this carefully. Do research more. Do your research more on the internet. Read more. Go through constitution of every country that you are, especially if you are in Canada. Listen to this. According to the section 183.1 of the Criminal Code of Canada, you can record a phone call as long as at least one person or the other person, your opponent, the person you are talking to, have concern in the conversation. The person in the conversation is aware that the recording is taking place. You can only record. So I can only record you and use it against you when I let you understand that I'm recording you. This is the law, Canada Criminal Code law. So those of you that you're making call, you're even calling your aunties and family members, and you're calling somebody to talk to the person, or and people will create fear and panic that they will arrest you, and by this time Canada government is listening to your call, and they don't have time for that. Or US government is listening to your call and they will come after you, and European government is no, they don't have time to do that. But if you commit a crime or you do something against the rules and regulations of the country, they will come after you. So be aware and be alert not to engage yourself in any fraudulent activity. Be alert not to engage yourself in any criminal activity. Otherwise, they will start tapping your calls. And even start tapping your calls, they will go to extent of doing so many things. So please, I am pleading on you, those people who has fear, create fear and panic into you, and you are hiding and you can't come to the public and you can't do this because you think somebody is tapping your call. You can't even make call and all those things. You are free to make your call. This is known as the one-party notification. This means that the person doing the recording has to be taking part in the conversation. So you need to be part of the conversation. You understand? So section 183, go and read it. Go and search it, how people can record. Section 183.1 of the Criminal Code of Canada, part 6, invasion of privacy, that deals with this point. Nobody can use that against you at court if they don't have permission from the court to record you. That doesn't mean that go and insult people on phone or maybe call somebody and start doing wrong dealings. We don't want route. We don't want anything to happen in this world, but we want peace. So I am offering you peaceful advice to live freely and peaceful ever. That is what everybody must live. How do you feel when you feel at peace? That you don't have anybody at your back, you don't have anybody following, you don't have anything around you, and you are freely living. How do you feel? You don't feel good? You see? So I'm telling you, this is a little advice that I want to give to every diaspora or anybody who is willing to travel, even in your own country that you are. That is the rules. They have their own rules of recording. They have their, so go and search it, go online and type the country and find whatever that, and let us live as peace. Let us smile for peace. Join me same time next week. Join me same time next week to discuss global issues on Alliance Creative Network. Today we discuss about how to reduce child labor in the world. I am your host, John Nanaya Ochre, and I bring the program to an end. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for listening and watching me at the same time. Please leave your comment. If you enjoy the program, leave your comment below. Or the social network, leave your comment on the Facebook and YouTube. Leave your comment there. And stay blessed. Stay peace, please. Thank you and bye-bye.
Welcome to Alliance Creative Network, where we educate our viewers on global issues such as security, health, and humanitarian challenges affecting the entire world. Together, we build a better life and peaceful environment for mankind.